Hello friends, it's Miss Ashley from the Crave Art Club and your Creative Avenue. How's everyone doing tonight? All right, I'm just pulling up the comments. We shall see, we shall see. You guys, so we started school this week. I think that went wacky. We started school this week and it's been the beginning of school, I'm just gonna say. Though we have homeschooled before, for 2 years now, we, it took a little time to get back into the groove. I think we're back into the groove finally today, which is good. Day 3, it's not too bad, right? So I think we're back in the groove today, which is nice. But it took a little getting used to. So for everybody who is just doing this for the first time, I am playing with all my buttons here, I'm sorry. For everyone who is doing this for the first time with this distance learning and homeschooling, because I know some people chose to homeschool instead of do distance learning because it was just going to be too hard for their kids and for their lifestyle that's going on right now. I just want to encourage you guys that it's okay if it's a little bit funky. And it takes a little while. I mean, even more than 3 days. We'll find our groove in the next week or two, and it'll be good for a while, and then, there'll be a bump, and we'll just have to readjust, but that's okay. We've gone through 3 different schedules already, trying to see what works for the kids and what's not working for the kids and what works for me and what doesn't work for me. My husband has already been hired on day 1 as the school chef, so that was a good thing. We realized that by the time lunchtime came, I was having too much fun playing with the kids. So we hired him as the chef for the school. So that's his new job on top of his other jobs, which is awesome. And so that's his big school job. I teach the kiddos and I do my work and I do the other stuff. So I hope it's going to go well for you. Did you start school yet? If you're watching and you have kiddos that are school age, have they started yet or not? Let me know in the comments. I'm curious. We started Monday, the 17th, and it was fun. I'm a late planner, 11th or 13th hour of planner. My ideas come to me when it's too late usually. Is anybody else like that here? Let me know. If you're watching, say hi. Say hi in the comments because I want to say hello to you. I would love to know who's on. So I get ideas at the very end. So it was Sunday night. We started school on Monday. It was Sunday night at about 11:30 p.m. And I was like, and I've been thinking for 2 or 3 days, what am I going to do this year to make the first day of school special? Usually we go somewhere. Like last year we went to the safari park and we did that for the first day of school, but we can't go anywhere right now. So I still wanted to make it special. We did stuff the day before. And I had cinnamon rolls in the morning and we had root beer floats and fun stuff like that. But I wanted to just have something a little extra special since we couldn't go anywhere. And I wanted to remind my kids because we homeschool. So some of you, if you've already homeschooled before, you might have an easier time with this because you've homeschooled. But if you haven't, you can still do this just with your own photos and memories. So I wanted to remind my kids and myself, I'm not going to lie, I wanted to remind myself that this is fun, that we enjoy this, that we have a good time together, that it's not just work, and we don't like it. We love it. That's why we're doing it. We have our days that don't go well, definitely. Hi, Miss Shelley. How are you, love? We definitely have our days that don't go well. My days that don't go well and their days that don't go well because we're humans, and that's going to happen. This is, you guys cannot see my screen right now, but it's hilarious because I have this little video of me up above and then Facebook in the background. But I can't see the full Facebook screen because they're layered on top of each other. So I look like myself with 4 sets of arms because below I can only see my arms. It's really funny. I wish you could see my screen. I look like an octopus. Anyway, so what I'm saying is that I wanted to make the first day of school fun for my kids and I could not think of what to do. And my friend Bonnie had a birthday for her son earlier in the week, and she did this cute little banner. She's like a paper craft gal, so she did all these little papers in diamonds and triangles and rectangles and whatever. And then she had friends send in photographs holding up little signs that said happy birthday to her son. And then she glued them all on and made a banner. Well, I think she made 3 or 4 banners that he could that she hung up and he could go and look at and see all of his friends saying happy birthday to him. He didn't want a big car parade or any of that. he was turning 13, so do what he wants. So she just did that banner, and that was super, super special. And my other friend, Lisa, she had done, usually on Valentine's Day, which is kind of like what we did for Valentine's Day in the Crave Art Club, this idea. But on Valentine's Day, she makes little heart cutouts of paper. And then she writes on them kind things that she loves about her kids, and words and sentences and whatever that remind her of her kids and encourage her kids and inspire, the family. So I took both of those ideas, and at 11:30 at night, I was getting ready to start this project. Well, Finn did not want to go to bed, so Finn didn't go to bed until about 12:30 in the morning, which isn't unusual for us, but when I've got to get a project done, I got to get the kid to bed. So I was dealing with that until 12:30 a.m. So I think I started this project at 12:30 a.m. and my kids were supposed to be up at 8:30 or 8 so that we could start school at 8:30 in the morning. I don't know why I'm doing this to myself, trying to get up early, but I am trying it. It's new. I've lost my mind. That's what quarantine's done to us. Anyway, so I didn't have many hours of sleep that night. I was up doing this. This probably took me 3 hours. But here's the project I'm going to tell you. And I showed up 2 hours late for the first day of school, meaning I let my kids sleep in as well. So I, as the teacher, was late on the first day of school by 2 hours, and I was a little grumpy, and I hadn't showered, and I was a hot mess when I showed up to the breakfast table of school. And so right as school started, I wished the kids a happy day. We looked at all the cool things that had been made in the middle of the night as the little angels slept. And then I turned my class over to a substitute. That's what I did on the first day of school, and that's okay. I turned it over to substitute husband. And so he had to take over, and he did all the fun stuff, which was like give the kids the cinnamon rolls and make sure they were happy. And then they got turned back over to me because I needed a shower. So that might happen on your first day of school too, and it's totally okay if it does, okay? So what I'm saying is it doesn't have to go perfect, but just make memories and make it fun, really. So here's the project that I did for my kids in the middle of the night until about 3:34 in the morning. I made these adorable little hot air balloons because I thought my friend Lisa, like I said, had done hearts for Valentine's Day. And then my friend Bonnie had done a whole picture collage. So I did these little hot air balloons because we're taking off this year. We're having fun this year. Everything's going to go up from here because it really should not be able to go any lower with all the quarantine and crazy that's going on in the world. So my idea here is the hot air balloon is just going up, up, up and away, over the places you will go with Dr. Seuss, that sort of idea. So I did these little hot air balloons. I just cut them out of 12 by 18 construction paper. And then I made the little basket on the bottom, and I just taped everything together on the back, just some string. And the cats keep ripping these things apart because I've taped this to the wall, and then these hang free, so the cats just think they're hilarious. So I'm going to take you guys down to the tabletop real quick. Let's see. And I'm going to show you guys kind of how we did this. So let's see. I put together a lot of these. I think I have 8 or 9 hot air balloons around the house, all in different colors. And so I just have everyone's a different color, and they're on all different random walls. So when the kids woke up, whatever room they went to, they were reminded of fun things that we had done over the last 2 years of homeschooling. Now, if you have not homeschooled before, you can always just put pictures of your kids that you find awesome. You could put pictures of the family and how much fun you have together, all that sort of stuff, so that it just reminds them of the happy times on the first day of school, because you want to start that first day, that first week out happy, right? I mean, the whole idea is that when you start school and you end school, and right in the middle, you need some strong stuff. After that, you get through it, right? Because they'll remember the beginning and they'll remember the end. And if you do a big wow project in the middle around Christmas, they'll remember those, okay? And then if they're great, the kids will just think, Finn's dropping all the games. The kids will just think school was awesome. So 3 big things, that's the goal, okay, friends? Anyway, so I printed out some pictures of the kids. This is Boston working on his states and spelling them all right, and he's doing a good job on that. This was a day that they volunteered at our church that was packing up supplies in the warehouse to give to people in need. This was a day that they cut up some foam squares and they were learning about Egypt and archaeology and all that sort of stuff. And they were doing a dinosaur dig, and we got to watch videos about archaeology and dinosaur digs. And so they had little shoe boxes that they filled up with sand from the park. And then they put these little foam pieces in that they had cut out to make like dinosaur bones, and they had to dig them all up. They have little paintbrushes to dust the dirt off with. They've got their little hats on, and they're being archaeologists. And then this one's hilarious. I had forgotten about this one until I went back through my pictures, which was really fun. Finn is being dressed up like a walrus by Boston. We were doing, I think it was a mystery science unit, and we were learning about blubber and how it keeps the animals warm. I think it was mystery science. It could have been in our zoology book. Possibly might have been our zoology book. And so they decided to dress Finn up as a walrus. They put every coat and sweatshirt on the poor child. He had probably like 8 sweatshirts and jackets all on him, with Dylan's big puffy like snow jacket on the very top. And then this is Boston sticking straws into his mouth like tusks. So he was going to feel what it's like to have all those layers. And we were wondering, was it going to keep him hot? Was it going to be cool? What would it be like inside? All that sort of stuff. So they create him into a walrus. Now, I didn't do this part yet, but they loved these. When they came out in the morning, they loved these. What I was going to do, and they don't know about, is I was going to put little notes in these. But by 3:30 in the morning, I was tired. So I didn't finish this, and it means that I can still surprise them another day, which might be tomorrow. So what I'm going to do, and we'll see if it works, is I'm going to turn this over, and I'm going to put a little piece on the back right here with some tape. Now, this is just an extra piece of construction paper. It doesn't matter what color, because no one's really ever supposed to see it, though my cats will probably hit it and turn it around, and it'll look ridiculous. If I had done brown, it would have been fine. Okay, so now I have like a little spot I could put a note in. So let's just say I want to do a little note here. Let's cut it a little bit taller. And I'm going to write just a little note. So when they come out in the morning, they're going to be like, wait, what's that? I've never seen that. Let's make sure it fits first. So what they did in the morning was they came out and they were super excited. Oh, good, it'll fit. They were super excited because they loved these. They loved seeing it all. And then they were like, oh, Mom, you know, it'd be really cool would be if you hide Lego guys. So they started sticking Lego guys in these little baskets. If you hide Lego guys in different school supplies or in the balloons or somewhere with this sort of stuff, and then we have to go around and find it. So when we wake up, we're excited to wake up, and then we go find our things, and then we can start school. So, well, you know, that's happened, of course, for the last 3 days. So I'm just going to say, Boston, you are such a hard worker. I'm going to run out of room. Worker. I love you. And then put a little heart and my little smile. Okay, so now I think I want to cut a little bit more of that off. Now he knows that this one's going to be for him. I'm going to tuck it in here. And every day I could just switch these out. And maybe only one gets it. Because like I said, I have 9 of these around the house. So maybe every day a different one will get it. And I have a little note. So tomorrow when he comes out, he's going to see like, wait, what is that? And he's going to go check it out. And he'll be able to pull that note out and be inspired for the day. And that should start him off with a good day. So you could put little notes like that in your little balloons, which is super awesome. Now, I had made way too many pictures. Which was perfect because it just gave me another project, and y'all know I love me some projects. So with the extra pictures, I took my friend Bonnie's sort of idea. Hers was much more fancified than mine because she had like background papers to attach it to. I went easy peasy, y'all. And if you guys enjoy these videos that we do, and I would really love it if you do some of this, because that's the only way Facebook will show it to other people. And right now it's really hard to be seen by other people because of the whole election and everything coming up. So they've limited our reach a lot, which is such a bummer because I just want to help inspire people, really. So if you guys can help me with that, that'd be amazing. But I had printed out a bunch more pictures. So this is when they took a cooking class, their first year of homeschooling. This is when they did a fun, oh, this was one of the best, you guys. And then you look back at them and you're like, my kids are so good. And you remember, and that's good to remember because there's going to be days when you're like, what is wrong with my children? Promise, it's going to happen. They're going to say the same about us, so it's okay. But they were dressed up all in their little Christmas suits, and they did an entrepreneur sort of sale. He made wooden snowmen, and that was Boston. And Finn made inspirational rocks, and they sold them in front of our friend Mateo and his restaurants. This was actually in front of Angela's I think this was at Enoteca, right out front of Enoteca when they had a big old fancy night. So if y'all are in the North Park area, go to Buena Forqueta, go to Enoteca, go to Mateo. They are awesome, okay? Anyways, my kids' entrepreneur fair got shut down because of weather, and so they let them come over and sell at their place, which was so much fun, just out on the street. So that was awesome. Our very first year, and they will always remember this, we kicked the year off with learning about Egypt. I asked them what they wanted to learn, and they wanted to learn about Egypt, and so we just started creating our lessons. They learned how to make a whole headdress, they made a cartouche, and then we just wrapped, this is literally, you guys look at how cute this is. This is a pillowcase around his waist as like the bottom little skirt part, right? And then eventually we bought like a muscle suit, and they had made their entire Halloween costumes themselves with all the things they were learning in school. So that was super fun. And he has like a lemur tail for the top of his headdress here, which is so fun. So he got to remember all that. This was Finn doing his states and spelling and doing so good. You can see how proud he is right there. This was a trip to the zoo, and of course, this is not how we spell Finn's name, but check it out. At the zoo, it says Cape Fynbos, and so we were like, oh my gosh, you have got to take a picture under that sign. So you guys, I just taped him to the back here with a piece of string, and I hung these all around the house. I have, I think, three different strands of these with like 10 pictures or so on each one. And then this was when we got to go to see the Blue Man Group, and we were doing a little bit about the theater. So we got to go see the Blue Man Group. This is hilarious. Can I tell you guys about this? I'll show you this. This is the walrus again. We talked about the walrus in the balloon, but this is Finn in the walrus costume with the straws. It's ridiculous. Okay, but this day was really silly. So this day we went out on a trail. We had been learning about some science stuff. I'm going to bring you back. Well, let me bring you back to the regular camera in just a second. So you guys can make something just like this and hang it up and remind your kiddos of how much fun they have together, how much fun they have with you, how much fun you have with them, because you'll need the reminder too, and leave them up for a few weeks, but surprise them on the first day of school. Super easy and tons of fun. So I'll tell you about this really ridiculous day that we had, okay? I don't know why it says system audio muted, but hopefully it's fine. Okay, it looks fine. So this hilarious day, you guys, we were doing a lesson about Africa, I think, in one of our zoology books. And there's these two kids that go off and they like venture through time a wee bit. And so in one of the lessons, they were in Africa and there were lions and they were being chased by the lions and they had to get away. And I was like, all right, that was great. That was like a good safari. Now I'm going to take you guys out. We're going to go have an adventure today, like a field trip, right? So we get all dressed up. I mean, they've got binoculars, they've got their backpacks, they've got their log books. They're going to take notes in the jungle, right? And we're just going to go on a hike in like one of our canyons, okay? Which was going to be so much fun, and I was so excited. I was like, this is going to be the best. Well, we get going, and Boston's like, what are we going to see? Where are we going? Like, they had no idea. And he's like, are there going to be lions? Totally joking. I was like, yes, there was going to be lions. And he was like, what? I was like, there's totally going to be lions. Because, like, if he had said, like, is there going to be, a dinosaur? I would have been like, yes, there's going to be a dinosaur. Is there going to be, like, rainbows and unicorns? I would have been like, yes, rainbows and unicorns. Because I wasn't going to tell him what we were doing. I wanted it to be a surprise. So I said, yes, there's going to be lions. Totally joking, right? So we get to this place and we drive by and we found a park ranger. And I had not been on this trail before because I don't go on trails because I don't like trails. So we go on this trail and we go up to the park ranger and I said, is there anything we should know? Which direction is the best direction to go? We're just kind of going to go take a little nature walk and see what's up. And he goes, well, did you bring any pots and pans? And I was like, I'm not camping. I'm just going for a walk with my 2 little children. I don't need pots and pans. Like we're gonna go take this walk. Hi Rachel, how are you, love? I'm talking about what I just did for my kids for the first day of school. I created these little banners and of pictures from the past 2 years of fun times together so that they could be ready for the first day of school. And remember, we do have fun together even if today goes totally to crap, okay? We like each other and we have fun. So that was a little hot air balloon I made. I have like 8 of them around the house. So I'm telling a story about this one. So silly. So we go on this nature walk. We find the park ranger guy, and I'm like, I'm going to know which way to go. I said, I don't want to get lost on this trail. I just need like a trail that goes by some cool stuff. I've heard there's like maybe a waterfall or a little pond or something we can see. He goes, well, there is. But if you didn't bring pots and pans, you probably don't want to go. And I was like, why do I need pots and pans? We're going on like a walk. Like we're not panning for gold. I don't know what we're doing. And he goes, well, we've had some mountain lion sightings. Mountain lion sightings. I'm like, I'm out, we're done. It's like, we've had some mountain lion sightings today and yesterday. And the kids looked at me like, what? Because remember, they said, for the bears, right? If this was a trail by my house, it should not be bears. I don't live in the woods. I live in the city, people. So they had said, are there going to be lions? And I was like, yes, because we were learning about safaris and lions. And I was totally joking when I said there'd be lions. And legit, the guy goes, we've had sightings of mountain lions today and yesterday and like over the past few weeks. We don't think they'll hurt you, but if you happen to see a mountain lion, you're going to want to bang some pots and pans or make a really loud noise so they go away and you scare them. And I was like, what? Like, I don't want to go on your trails, dude. So my kids hear this and they're like, we're not doing it. And I was like, but we're out to have fun. We've got to go on the adventure. Somehow, I need good pictures. This is totally ridiculous. And although we never really went on the trail, totally looks like we did. And we know we didn't, and it doesn't matter because the pictures were still fun. And the memory is still awesome. And so we go like, we don't really want to go. He's like, I'm sure you'll be fine. Just make sure that you look up in the trees. And I was like, look up in the trees? Why am I going to look up in the trees? He goes, because the mountain lions like to hide in the trees. Okay. I didn't know mountain lions hide in the trees. I guess it makes sense if you think of house cat gone giant to become mountain lion. Because house cats, right, like cats, they climb trees. And then they like to jump down and attack their prey. That does not sound like fun. Anybody? Whoever's watching, tell me if this sounds like a great adventure for you to take your 2 little children out for the day to learn about life and school and the safari. I literally felt like we were in the book all of a sudden. So we went on our little trail adventure. I see a few more people have joined. I'm talking about, just to recap, what I did for the kids for the first day of school. In the middle of the night, because my ideas come in the late night hours, I made these cute little banners with, it's literally just pictures taped to, I printed them out on the computer, taped to a piece of string, and then I hung them around the house. I made a hot air balloon and stuck pictures of the kids on those to remind them that we have fun while we're homeschooling. Now, if you've not homeschooled before, you could just put fun family photos on here and remind them that you all have fun together and you love each other. My kids have homeschooled for the last 2 years, and so I put pictures of their learning times together that were fun. I don't take pictures of the not fun ones. Oh, actually I do sometimes, just to remind us like we're human, and to remind them we don't want to go back to that, and to remind myself. So anyways, we're talking about our fun adventure here on Lion Day. So we said, okay, well, we're not going to go too far in. I was like, you guys, we should still like walk around and like check out the plants. And I'm sure out in this area, there's going to be no mountain lions, right? So I'm like trying to get the kids, like we got in the car, we drove to this other side. He's like, well, look up and then that's where the lions will be. So we were like, is there a spot where there's no trees? So he said, go over to this other side. So we went over to this other side and there's big bushes, but they're not like trees. And so I thought, well, we could walk a little ways out there. And so we did, but not far. The kids like stopped on the fence and were like, I'm not going. I said, well, I need pictures because this is a great memory. Why not capture these moments? So I took pictures of the kids sitting on this fence pretending they were on an adventure. You couldn't tell the car was literally right behind us in the parking lot. So you guys, life is all about perspective. Nobody knew that we were like literally in the parking lot. It looks like we're in the safari. We were in the parking lot. No joke, right? So it's all about perspective. Which direction do you want to look at life, right? We chose to turn this into a silly, fun, exciting time, I guess. So we took a little walk, all of about 20 yards, 20 yards down the path. Once we got to the first big bush and they'd hear like a rustle, which was probably like a squirrel because there's squirrels out there. They were like, we're done, we're out. I'm like, freeze, pose, I need a picture, get together, put your arm around your brother, make it seem like you like your brother. And see this little bush right here? That's what they got freaked out about. There's a lion in it. We know there's a lion, we're gonna die, we can't do it. We're not going any farther. So we didn't go any farther. But then we got in the car after we took our fun little pictures to remember this exciting day. Obviously it worked, you guys, right? We all laughed about it again yesterday, or Monday. So after that, we got in the car and we drove around and down the road to another part of the canyon just to see what it was like down on that end. When we got down there, we found the same ranger that we had found before. And we get to the ranger and we were like, hey, and he goes, how was the hike? And I said, we were too terrified. We didn't go. And he's like, why not? And I said, well, because we don't want to be eaten by a lion. So no, thank you. We don't want to do it. And he's like, I'm sure you'll be fine. No joke, about a year ago, a lion on that exact same trail, a mountain lion, did attack a young child. So I'm feeling okay for not going on the trail. But the kid lived. So that was a bonus, I guess, right? Mountain lion sadly did not. They put him down or her down. It was horrible. But because we're animal lovers and we would never want that to happen. But the kid was fine, so it was okay. But when we got to the other side and we found the ranger again, we were talking to him and he said, oh, well, if you want to go out on the trail that way, you could totally go out that way. We haven't seen the lions over there. And we were like, okay, we might do that. And he goes, but you'll want to watch for, and I was like, and we're done. If I'm going to watch for something else, we're done. So he goes, you're going to want to watch for rattlesnakes. And I was like, yeah, and we're still done. And the kids looked at me like, we'd like to go back home and do some schoolwork. Please don't take us out into the jungle, okay? So I was like, rattlesnakes, like, okay, I get that more than a mountain lion. But because like I said, we don't live like out in the forest or anything. We live pretty close to the city. So he goes, oh yeah, we caught a rattlesnake the other day. Now, it looked like a big stick. So if you see any sticks, just approach slowly and make sure it's not a snake before you take the kids by. And I was like, and peace out, buddy. Thanks for all the cool tips. Why don't you tell us about some plants, tell us some cool things for the kids, and this will be science for the rest of like the week. And so we talked to the ranger. We learned a whole bunch of cool stuff. But once we realized we were possibly going to be eaten or have an encounter with a lion and then be, snake bitten to death, we were like, we're done. We're out. Okay. So anyways, that was our fun adventure. And you guys, my luck is that this always happens to me. I went camping once, my husband and two friends of ours, we went camping. And right after we got there, we sat down to eat. And we were approached by two bears. Well, it was one bear that I saw, big bear, giant bear, like huge bear, mama bear, right? And we ran and jumped in our, what did we have at the time? A Blazer, like a Chevy Blazer. It was like small car. I mean, it was not a car, but it fit 4 people in the back all night because we couldn't get out of there because the bears decided to sleep literally right next to our car. Like, this is my luck. I got bit in the face by a dog once. That was my luck. I had a dog attack my other dog, and I had to separate them, and my hands got all bit up. My dog got really hurt. Like, my luck is that when my husband's not around, or I guess when I'm camping, my husband is around, nature doesn't like me. My friend keeps trying to get me to go camping and take the boys camping. Y'all, I'm not camping again. Never again. We did it. We did it last summer. So this is September almost. I think we went in September last year. Not doing it. We went camping last year in September, and I finally gave in after 15 or 20 years. And I said, okay, fine, I'll go camping, whatever. We're going to do it because my kids are kids and they should learn how to camp and they should have fun, and they wanted to go, and so we did it. We were attacked by like gnats, thousands and thousands and thousands of gnats. Like, we were covered in gnat swarms, each of us, like fully gnats where you were like this the whole time and you can't get away from them. Like trying to pack up our tent, gnats all over each one of us. It was disgusting. that was the last day, and we left early because of that. The second day, we decided to go take a walk. Let's take a walk. And there was poison oak or ivy everywhere. It was everywhere. Oak? Dylan's like, what? There's no ivy here. It was poison oak. So we go take a walk, and we're like, my friend, she's like, oh, don't touch that. And I was like, why? It's poison oak. So she scoots it out of the way with a stick, and we all walk by. Oh, don't touch that. And we're like, okay. Oh, don't touch that. And then we get to like a wall of just poison oak. Like we could not go on the trail any farther because it was just a wall of poison oak. And Boston's like, I don't want to go any farther. Dylan's super allergic to it. I was like, we're done. We're going back. We're going to go back. This is not fun. We were in poison oak, crazy gnats, okay? Not only that, massive meat bees. Bees everywhere. Woke up in the morning, the first morning, because we got there at night, put up the tent in the dark, which Dylan didn't want to do in the dark, but I was running late because I'm always late. And so we had to put the tent up in the dark. I hope I'm not boring you all with my silly stories, but they're just coming to my brain. Dylan's laughing at me. So we get there, we put the tent up at night, and we're like, we're going to eat. My friend had made us all dinner because we were late, so she's like, I've already made dinner. You guys just eat it and relax, because she knows that I don't want to camp. I don't want to be there. I don't like this thing. So she's trying to make it as nice as possible. Wake up in the morning, okay? And I was like, I'm not waking up and making all this breakfast and whatnot you got to do, like pee in the woods. No, thank you. Like, not my thing. So the sound I hear outside the tent is just bzzz, the whole tent. The whole tent. All I can hear echoing is the sound of bees. And I look out the window, and there my friend is cooking breakfast, trying to make this like, nothing's weird. I'm not being attacked by 50 bees around my head, landing on the food. Dylan's like trying to shoo bees off, because I was like, I'm going to sit in this tent and go get my face on. I'm going to feel like I'm alive and like I'm not going to hyperventilate getting out of this tent, because I hate camping and nature is not my thing. So if my friend Sarah pops on this, she's going to love this. She's a camper to the end. So bees were just everywhere. I mean, on the food. You couldn't eat the food without a bee being right in front of you, and you like had to swat it away. So there's just bees everywhere. The kids are hiding in the tent. So for that whole day, basically what happened was the kids hid in the tent with me to not be attacked by bees. That was it. We just all hid in a tent and played board games. And when we left this whole meat bee extravaganza, poison oak everywhere, giant gnat swarms, I mean disgusting gnat swarms. I should post pictures, so gross. When we left this whole fantastic adventure of camping, we're going down the hill, coming back home, and I said, well, what was the most awesome part of your whole experience? Because I knew mine was going home. That was my favorite part. So I said, what was the best time of the whole experience for you guys? And you know what they all said? Everybody said, playing games in the tent. Playing games in the tent. I said, you guys know what? We can play games in our house, have a real toilet, a real shower, not be attacked by bees, not be attacked by gnats, and have no fear of getting poison oak and not drive anywhere. We could totally do that. And Dylan's like, there's no fun in that. We have fun every day playing games, you guys. Seriously, I don't like to camp. So with my luck, we would have been eaten by a lion and bit by rattlesnakes on that fun little adventure of this amazing day that we all can now remember. So you guys, here's the moral of the story. Take pictures of your school year. I know we're distance learning. I know we're homeschooling. I know we're doing all weird stuff right now. Take pictures. Every day, take pictures. If it's a picture of the kids just doing their schoolwork, take a picture. I take pictures of all of it, and I share it in like a little group with my mom and my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, and my husband and I. We all have access to it, so everyone can kind of see what's going on. But also, I then have this album of all of our homeschool photos, or distance learning if you're distance learning, right? And at the end of the year, I can totally make a yearbook, which I should do, of all their stuff. But at the beginning of the next year, I can always make something awesome like this and remind them of all the fun that we've had. And I think that it really started the year off on a good note for us. Oops, here's paper. So here is the hot air balloon I did, and every day I've been hiding, like per their request, a little Lego guy in some of these balloons or in the pictures of those signs or in their school books. So when they go get their books, out falls a Lego guy, and they're surprised. But tonight, they don't know it yet. They get a little note in the morning. And so Boston will see this and he'll pull it out because we taped, if you missed this at the beginning, we taped on a little piece of paper to the back. So it's like a little envelope, and he'll be able to pull out his little note and it says, "You are such a hard worker. I love you." So I can just leave sweet little notes like this for them in these balloons, and they can look forward to the next note every day. I also put a note out for them every morning at the breakfast table that just encourages them for the day and lets them know I love them. And on the days when I forget to do that, Boston so kindly reminds me, Mom, and he brings, literally, this is what he'll do. He'll bring the whiteboard, and let's pretend it's a whiteboard pen. He'll bring it to me and he'll be like, "You forgot our note today." So while I thought that, like, this is so cheesy, I'm making notes for my kids every day. You know, like you can put them in their lunchbox or whatever, but it's just one little thing. And I've wondered, you know, is it making a difference? And the first time I forgot, I realized it was making a difference because he totally came to me and was like, "Mom, you forgot our note today." And anytime I forget the note, he reminds me. So I know that makes a difference. And I know the photos make a difference. And I know just showing him in little ways every day makes a big difference. And when we have those hard days and we can look down the hall, I have these like all over the halls right now. So I can see these faces and I can be like, we do have fun. If everything's not fun right now, let's stop for a second and make one of these fun memories. Let's go bake together. Let's go make a craft together. Let's go learn about something exciting in history. Even if it's not in the schedule, not something we're supposed to do, I might think of something cool that happened in history. Let's go learn about it for a second. Let's just go make some really fun memories so that we can have a good time and get back to smiling, right? Even if they're scary memories, they're still fun. Dress your kid up like a walrus and everyone will laugh, okay? So, my mom just hopped on. Mom, you're going to have to go back and watch because I'm just wrapping up, but it was tons of fun. Crystal, hi, nice to see you. Crystal says, "That's a great idea. Thank you. I used to put notes, in lunch." So all of us moms who would put notes in the lunch boxes when they would go to school, now they're staying home. Doesn't mean you can't hide a little note under the plate while they're at home, right? Stick a little note under their plate, and then when they leave their dishes out and they're supposed to clean up after lunchtime, you just go like, "Oh, you didn't clean up your plate. Can you please clean it up?" And they're like, complain forever, and you're like, "You're gonna clean up your plate." And then they pick up their plate to go put it away, and underneath they see a little happy note from you. It might just spark a little love in their day, right? So check that out. Do those fun things. That's a great way to just, oh, Mom's been on from the start. It says you just joined. I'm glad you've been here from the start, Mama. Nice. So anyways, it's just a fun way to start off your school year. I hope this helps you guys. You don't have to make a hot air balloon. You could do, hearts, apples, circles, shapes, however old your kids are, whatever's fun for them. But think of some fun way to kind of remind them, but mostly to remind you that you love your children, that you have fun together, that this is gonna be great, and just to remind you to kind of spice it up every now and then to make it exciting when it gets a little boring. All right, y'all? I hope this helped everyone. I hope you guys have some fun. Our first day of school, I'm not sure if I said, I think I did. Yeah, our first day of school, the teacher came 2 hours late, and then she turned her class over to a substitute right away. And so she could go take a shower because she was tired from doing all of this the night before. It was totally fine though. Everything worked out. We schooled forever in a day that day because, oh my gosh, there was just so much and we were trying to figure out the order. And we've cut hours off every day. But I will tell you something. Digital, what's it called? Digital Divide and Conquer on Teachers Pay Teachers. If you want, I know I've said this in other videos. If you want a fun bit of lessons to do or activities, check out Digital Divide and Conquer. My kids are doing a zombie outbreak, survive the outbreak lesson right now. They are having a blast. They're writing a comic strip with it. They're learning how to map out a school and working on mapping. They're learning about area and perimeter all through this really fun packet. And I literally said, okay, school's done. And they were like, wait, we want to finish this. And my kid brought the packet to the lunch table with him and wanted to keep working on it. They don't want to stop working on it. Tonight I was like, school had been done for 2 hours. And I was like, okay, can you guys clean everything up? And Boston was like, wait, I was just going to work on my project again. Now, my friend Ellie, I said to her on the first day of school, I think, gosh, we schooled until 8 o'clock at night. And she's like, you're crazy. And I was like, it wasn't my fault. I was ready to be done a lot earlier, but my kids wanted to do this project for 3 hours and they kept asking for more and more and more. And, oh, I'll bet if we add this to it, and I'll bet we could do this. because they were having fun. And I said, my kids kept asking for more. And she literally wrote back and said no kid ever. And Boston, I said, Boston, look what Auntie Ellie said. And she's teacher too. I said, look what Auntie Ellie said. And he goes, well, that's because those kids are not having fun. We're having fun. Dylan's laughing in the other room. He goes, when school is fun, then you want to do more of it. So I don't know. I think some people need to learn how to make school more fun, and then their kids are going to want to do it more often, which may or may not be true for some kids. Her kids love the great outdoors, and they love to do sports. My kids are not sportsy people, so they're just different people. But it is true that if you make an activity fun, or you make it what sparks their hearts and their desires, then they are going to want more of it, right? So if they're having a good time, they're going to want more. If they're not having a good time, they're not going to want more. Yes, they still have to do that stuff like spelling test and math test and all the stuff they might think is boring. But if you do that and then throw in the good stuff, they'll remember the good stuff. So, all right, friends, I hope you have a great week. My mom says, I love your stories. Thanks, Mama. I talk a lot. All right, you guys, have a great week, and I will see you later. Remember, just smile through all of it. And I will say I have chocolate hidden in my house, and I have already broken into it a few times. If you have not heard this idea, if you're about to go crazy and get upset with your kids, just eat chocolate. It's true. It works. It helps. So I have had a couple pieces already, and we're on day 3. I think I'm going to need to invest in more chocolate. All right, you guys, have fun, and I'll see you later. Bye, friends.